guys, and welcome back to my channel. I've been getting a lot of questions about the legal job market in 2019-2020. People who are wondering if they should enroll in law school, people who are in law school wondering if they'll be able to get a job when they graduate, and people who are already working to see if they will be able to lateral over to a new position. And especially now when there's talk of a potential 2020 recession, there is a lot of outsourcing by law firms to ALSPs or alternative legal service providers, and a lot of corporations are bringing in-house matters that they would otherwise have outsourced to law firms. So there's a lot of change going on. And what does this all mean for the current and future legal markets? Well, if you're excited and interested to find out, go ahead and hit that like button and let's get started. So the first thing you have to know is how many jobs are out there. What is the growth of the legal market? And just to put things into perspective, back when the 2008 recession happened, or I guess I should say before the 2008 recession happened, law firms were growing at multiples of US GDP. So multiples of the growth of the larger US economy. And that's what, at least what we referred to it as, the golden era. And so you had law firms making a ton of money. You had law firms as a result hiring a bunch of associates. And those were the days of the crazy, insane summer clerkships where you would have these elaborate dinners and lunches and events and even international travel. And so since that hit, of course, the legal market took a plunge just like most markets did. And the legal market has been growing ever since then, year after year, just at a much smaller rate. So instead of multiples of GDP, it's been tracking the US GDP, which is about a growth of 1 to 3% a year, which is about the same as most occupations. So that's a good thing. But an even better thing is what we've seen in 2018. So there's been a big growth in 2018. Law firm revenue is up, hiring is up. And so based on the latest statistics we have, the job market and the legal market are very strong right now. The next thing you need to know is how many people are competing for the jobs that are out there. In order to know this, you have to look at the enrollment statistics for law school. So historically, over the last 40 or so years, the average number of law students per year enrolling in law school is around 40,000. And so right now we're at a bit of an uptick from the previous year. So in 2017, there were about 38,000 new enrollees. And in 2018, there are about 39,000 new enrollees. And so it's a bit of an uptick, but still within the historical average. And then of course, the most important question, are there more lawyers than there are legal jobs available? And one of the most insightful data points, the most helpful data points for this are the employment statistics for graduates coming out of law school. And the ABA actually requires all 201 law schools to publish this information. And just as an aside, that definition of employed is full-time, long-term employment in a job that requires a JD or bar passage in 10 months, within 10 months of graduating. The good news is that the graduating class of 2018, which is the latest data available, has entered into the strongest legal job market in a decade, with 78.6% of the graduating law students finding full-time JD jobs within 10 months of graduating. The just be careful news is that
there was an uptick in legal job growth in 2018, so there were more jobs available. There was also a bit of a dip in law school enrollment in 2015 when these recent graduates would have started law school, so there was a little bit less competition. And the other thing to keep in mind is that law school graduation employment statistics do vary widely by law school. So I'm going to link below a list of all 201 law school employment graduation statistics so you guys can compare and contrast either the law school where you currently are or the law school you might be considering applying to so that you can see how the statistics match up against one another.
And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is this idea of a potential possible economic recession in 2020, because I've been asked a lot about it. And I'm not an economist. I don't know if it's going to happen. I know there are varying opinions about the likelihood of it happening, but I do want to tell you guys this, and that is that when I started law school in August of 2008, it was right before the huge recession hit. And so the class above me, the 2Ls, in August and September, were interviewing with law firms. They were doing OCI, they were doing callbacks. And so the law firms were still in this golden age of the law firm era where they were hiring huge summer classes. So we're talking 50, 75, 100 kids in a summer associate class. And what wound up happening is that when that recession hit in September and October, and then fast forward to the summer, law firms realized there was no way they could sustain that many new people. And so there were huge no offer rates, which meant that the summer associates were not getting permanent offers to come back and work for that firm when they graduated, which was unheard of up until that point. And so what wound up happening was that when our class started OCI and callbacks, it was August 2009 and the law firms knew that they couldn't have summer associate classes that size. So the law firms were hiring 10 to 12 new associates, or hiring 1 to 2 to 3, or some were hiring none at all. But what wound up happening is that people at the top of the class were still able to find big law firm summer associate clerkships, and people who worked hard and did well upon graduation were still able to find good jobs. And so I hope it gives you a little bit more peace of mind in terms of the potential legal job market you'd be facing when you graduate. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the description below. It's chock full of resources, including all the links I mentioned in this video, guides to legal interviewing and legal writing, and a link to join the Law Tribe Network Facebook group, where you can connect with people just like you looking to build sustainable and fulfilling legal careers. So I hope you guys check out all those great resources, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great week. Bye.